What's up, males, females, and non-binaries? This is Drunk Cooking with Drew. I'm Drew, obviously, your host. And today we're cooking salmon. So first off, what we're going to start with our spices. This is all stuff you can find at your local Ingles or Walmart. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. None of this stuff is fancy. It's stuff that I've looked at, thought it tastes good, put it together, and it tastes good. Also, there's one more thing that I need. I don't know where it's at. I don't know where she put it. Where's my bottle of wine? Surely I didn't drink all that last night. So also, part of the recipe is going to be a bottle of red wine. It can be Cabernet, it can be whatever the other red wines, whatever the other red wines are. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You're just there for the taste for it. First thing I always like to do, I like to start off with my main base on any kind of meat, whatever it's fish, chicken, pork, or whatever. You always want to do a main rub to let it sit first. A lot of people say they don't like salmon because it has a fish taste to it. Well, my salmon doesn't have a fish taste to it. Fishy fish is not good for anyone. So what I have here, this is stone ground mustard. As you can see on the side of the bottle, it's just thicker mustard. It's nothing crazy. And what you're going to do is, you're going to basically bathe the salmon in the mustard. Just put enough on there to where it's going to cover the whole thing. And this is going to give it a good, like, tangy taste too. And you can get your hands a little bit dirty, and you're gonna just rub it all around, and it ain't gotta be nothing like super crazy. Now while we're waiting for this to sit for a while, you can do it up to 15 to 30 minutes. It really doesn't matter. What I like to do is I put it on there, and then I go over to my spices and start mixing up my rub for the salmon itself. Okay, so that's what we're about to do. First thing I'm gonna put in there today is gonna be this Parnana organic extra virgin olive oil. It is Mediterranean olive oil, and you can get this at, I think I got this at Walmart. So, also back to the salmon. This slab of salmon you can get at Walmart for 20 bucks. Just throwing that out there, super cheap. You're just gonna get a scoop. And a lot of people don't, I don't use measurements, just pay attention. I mean, it's all based on how big your meat's gonna be, so.
That's what she said.
You're not gonna use a whole lot of olive oil. You just want enough to kind of get everything drizzled in there. Because basically that olive oil is going to help the outside of the fish cook versus, you know, just the inside being cooked. Then you're going to add some thick, coarse ground pepper. If you ain't doing it with thick ground coarse, like, you're doing it wrong. I never thought pepper had a taste until I actually started having it, doing it with thick ground versus like the tiny little things. Or tiny, I guess the shaving is what you call it, I have no idea. So you're gonna add that, just keep adding pepper. I like pepper. I add enough of everything in here to cover the whole piece of fish, or piece of meat that I'm cooking. Just keep on turning. After that, you're gonna go to your good old salt. You're not gonna add too much of this though, because in this, it's got the pink Himalayan salt in it. So, and we'll get to that in a minute. It's just a whole other type of salt. Not much of that. This stuff right here came from Walmart. Himalayan pink salt with garlic and black pepper, which the black pepper in here is not the same, the thick ground I just used, so it's always good to have you some of both. I'm just going to put some in there. And that looks about right. There's no measurement here. I'm sorry if you expected that to happen. It's just not going to happen. Then you got our Italian herbs. This is going to give it like a nice sweet spice taste. Not really spicy. I don't put a whole lot of this because it does give it a sweet taste, and I already got brown sugar in there, so I don't need the sweet taste. Then we're going to move to good old-fashioned lemon pepper. We're not going to add a lot of this either, because if we do, it'll be like super lemony, and no one likes a bunch of lemon taste. If the shaker get it any slower, we should be good. Alright, there we go. That's enough of that. And then we got Slap Your Mama's Cajun seasoning. We're not going to add much of this either because we don't want a whole lot of heat on this. We're not going for the spicy level here. Just enough to cover basically the piece of salmon. All right, anyway, so you can go ahead and mix that up if you want to. So this is some of the wet stuff we're gonna be adding. We got Worcestershire sauce, great value brand, baby, because we don't overspend for something that tastes the same as the same other stuff I'm getting now. You're gonna drizzle it, not a lot, because we all know that Worcestershire is overbearing, so overbearing. Then we're gonna take a sip of our beer. Cheers to y'all. Ah, that's good stuff. Then we're gonna come over here with our $10 bottle of Cabernet. A healthy splash, because what that's going to do is going to get with that brown sugar and it will make a nice, yeah, you get what I'm saying, a nice glaze here. And the beauty about this whole thing that you're making here, you can twist it to however you want. You don't have to use red wine, you can use white. You know, I just prefer red wine because it has a better taste. And you get it mixed up really good. And if it's too syrupy, so a little too syrupy for my liking, literally all you have to do, add just a spoonful of that brown sugar, and wow, look at that. It's like a sham wow. You don't know why it works, it just works. Good and thick. See, that's about where you want it. Not too runny, not too thick where you can't spread it on there the way you need to. We'll get to the salmon here in a minute, and I'll tell you why we're adding more mustard. We're gonna add some mustard to this as well, because it's just gonna bring everything together. Not a lot, just enough in there to cover the whole thing. And then you'll just get it in there. Because that mustard's got a spicy, like tangy taste to it, and that's what you want. We're not going for a bunch of heat, we're just trying to get a little bit of tanginess. All right, so now we're gonna sit for 25 minutes, let the salmon sit there. Your spices didn't have to go in the refrigerator, nothing like that. And we will be back in like 20 minutes.
20 minutes later.
All right, we're back 20 minutes later. Another cold beer. Cheers to everyone. So, we've had our mustard sitting on there for 30 something minutes. Who knows? The time has passed where no one's counting. What you're gonna do is you're gonna lay a paper towel, press down, pull up. What that's going to do is going to take most of the mustard stuff off, like the liquid stuff that's in the mustard, and it's going to pull it right off. And I'll tell you why we're going to do that in a second. And if you'll see the salmon now it has basically just the spice of the mustard and a little bit of mustard still on there. This is what we want. Because you don't want an overbearing amount of mustard, because you want your glaze that we made not too long ago to sit on there and cover the whole fish without having a bunch of mustard being sliding around all over the place, because that mustard won't let anything else stick if you don't pat it dry. So literally, next step, we're just gonna cover this whole piece just like this. So, now that that's done, you can get the stuff that's going to slide off. You're not going to get, it's not all going to stay. It's just not going to happen. In a perfect world, it probably would, but we don't live in that place. So then you're just going to make sure the whole area is covered, because what's going to happen is the brown sugar is going to harden a little bit more, like get a little bit thicker once we put it in the fridge to sit for the next 30 minutes, and then it'll all come together. All right, so what we're about to do, we're going to put this in the fridge. We'll be back in 30 minutes, and we will move to the grill where we will fire it up and get this going. We'll see you soon. All right, we're back. So here we are 30 minutes later. We got the grill ready. The grill's on. We're pulling the salmon out. We're putting it on the grill. Here we go. So you can use spatulas. I just like to use my hands because I'm taking off there. I'll pick it up with spatulas once I get ready to pull it off the grill, but for this point and purpose, it really doesn't matter. All right, so the way this is gonna cook, you want all your temperatures. I have 6 burners here. Actually, I lied, I have 5. I have 5 burners on this gas grill. You can call it charcoal, is better, I'm sure it is, but I always keep one off because you want it to kind of circulate around and not just be a constant heat on the bottom of this slab of salmon. So what the bottom's going to do is, there is skin on the bottom of this fish, as you can see. The way you know that this fish will be done is when you can scoop your spatula between the fish and the skin itself, and it easily goes up in there and slides all the way down. When that's separated, you can pull your salmon off. If you like your salmon more done and flaky, that's cool. But for me, I just keep it straight and simple. It's ready to pull off. You don't want it super dry because it just kills the taste of everything you put on there. Also, you can keep the skin on there a little bit longer after you pull your salmon off. You can, I like to keep it for my dogs. I like this good little crispy snack for my dogs. It's not gonna hurt them, and it's actually good for their skin and hair, for all the omegas and stuff like that inside the fish. So yeah, cheers. All right, so typically I would use lemon and limes, but for today, we're gonna try something a little bit new that will give it a good little taste, citric acid taste, whatever you wanna call it. And it's gonna be some oranges. A little bit of vitamin C, I think. Slide that over a little bit. All right. So up to this point, I hope you guys all been drinking with me. It's the only right thing to do when you're grilling like this, other than a fly bothering you. This is what we're looking like so far. We got about another 20 minutes on the grill, and then we'll be completely done with this slab of salmon with the oranges. Until then, stay thirsty, and cheers to you again. So this is what I'm saying when I say, like, when the skin separates. As you can see, the skin just slides right off through the whole fish. Oh. And when that happens, that's when it's done. And you can already see how it's flaking off here. When that meat flakes off, it's nice and light pink, white. So it's going to be hard to take this whole fish as a piece off this grill because it's going to be flimsy. It sucks because it would be great if we actually could do it that way. So, what you can do is you can try and pick it up as a whole. It's probably not going to happen. Some pieces are going to pop off. Just put that on there like that right there. And then you can come back and get the rest, small pieces. Because this will be a little snack for you while you wait on that to cool down, and then you can have some of this stuff and give dogs, or you can just throw it away. This skin's going to stay on there a little bit longer because it's still kind of wet here at the bottom, and then once that's crucified, we'll give it to the dogs. Alright, so we're jumping straight to the broccoli now. You can cook your broccoli however you prefer. I like adding a little bit of Worcestershire. I don't add salt and pepper to it. Main fact, because some people don't like too much salt and pepper on the broccoli. They can do that at the table on their own. We got some corn going here. What I like to add in my corn, a dash of Worcestershire. And some good roasted garlic and rosemary seasoning. Some in there, and you just want to give it a couple flips, make some good stuff happen in there. Boom, roasted. Food's so nice, they named it twice. Just put this. Alright guys, here we are, finished product. The salmon's off the grill. You already know all that took place there. Here we are with a salad. We have ranch and Italian dressing with some cheese, nothing crazy. We got corn with some garlic, butter, and rosemary. We have couscous with garlic, rosemary, and butter. We got a little bit of Worcestershire on the broccoli that we did on the stovetop, and then we have obviously the finished product, salmon. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share. If you want anybody family members that you want to watch this video and have an easy meal that can cook, it doesn't take a lot and it's delicious, feel free to do it. And just remember, stay hungry and stay thirsty. Cheers. Girl, you don't put red wine in a fridge?